It's LEGO Hobo 910 here with another LEGO video, and in this video it's air castle number whatever. Here's, the air castle where it was last time. I haven't moved. Something you may notice is the lack of drawers in this organizer, because I have two different organizers here. That one's currently empty because I have the drawer setting aside for something else. But the main reason that this is empty, this used to be for organizing minifigure parts, except recently I bought a toolbox for that, so now I just have accessories in here, and I have yet to figure out what I'm going to do for that. So that's kind of weird. And the main thing I want to do is at least set up the structure for the other 2 or 3 islands leading down, if not actually build them. And also I might try to work on foliage a bit. And so I had like this many of these plant stock pieces, which is like my favorite. This is 8 here, not 8, 9, something like that. And then I also had some of these flower pieces. And that's obviously not going to be enough for foliage. I have some other foliage pieces, except this is the main one I want to use. And if you watched the Water Castle video, I went to the LEGO store. I don't live near a LEGO store. The closest one is like 6 hours away. And I happened to be in the area like a week before I recorded the Water Castle video. So it's been a couple weeks, and I picked up a lot there. Some of them just random pieces, others with intended purposes. Like this one, I picked up a bucket full of these. I believe I have I counted them, and I believe it was either like 75 or 105 or something. It was a decently big number. So now I have a lot of these plant stock pieces here. I just decided to stack them up. So yeah, I have a bunch of these, which I'll be using for foliage. So yeah, you used to have that, I now have that. So that's pretty nice. So I think now I'm going to start working on building the structure for the next island. I've just finished the structure for the second island, and in fact I popped off half for the first island to see how I did it over there. And I actually connected it differently using some Technic pins. And also, it's just really weirdly built. It's kind of hard to explain. I'm not going to take it apart because or else I'll have a really tough time putting it back together. But obviously, it's missing the top, and that's because since it's so fragile and these fall off so easily, I don't want to be building on top of it. So I'll build the top, occasionally holding it up to see if it fits, and then I'll actually connect it after it's fully built. But also, I have an issue. I didn't quite build it tall enough, and I'm not going in there to rework the Technic frame. So, there's a few options. I could either go in there, take it apart, and try to rework the Technic frame, or I could just try to pry these apart and attach it higher. That could be really risky. Or what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to build it up higher by building, some rocks and stuff under. I might make that a little bit of a hill instead. I don't know, I'll figure something out, and I'll get back to you when I do that, and then I'll start working on the top. I've just finished doing the training around the bottom and bumping it up a bit with this hill that I've then used some brackets here to make it look all rocky and stuff. I think it looks pretty good. Now I'm going to work on building the top here on a separate piece and then connecting it afterward. So I've built the island as well as figured out how I'm going to connect them. So I was wondering if I should do really steep bridges, but then I was like, that'd be way too steep, so I decided I'd do ladders. So then I was just kind of looking around for pieces. I was looking at flex tubing and stuff. And then I stumbled across this drawer of sand green, some other stuff that I picked up at the LEGO store recently. And it has these telescopes, and originally I built a stack of telescopes and then was connecting the clips this way and was going to build something across. Then I realized I could just take these 1x4s and do that, so I did. And now I have these ladders, which I'm just going to set there loosely, which also means for the next island I can make it a lot of a steeper drop. And then I think I'll only have one island and then a ladder connecting to the ground. And I'm probably going to start working on that island right now. I just finished building the structure for my third island here. As you can see, I had to get a little creative. It's not at all like the other ones, and that's because I was running out of the pieces I used for the other ones. The top, I also had to get a little creative on. Not as creative, but the bottom I ended up using a bunch of Technic pieces and then connecting them into bricks here, and it's weird. So now I'm going to build up some rock work and build the island and all that good jazz. So it's actually the next morning, and I don't know what all I had here from last time, but what I've done this morning is I've created this dirt. Not sure if the rock work or anything was there since last time recording, and this actually uses kind of interesting techniques similar to this, with some similarities to that. It's kind of a mix between the two of them, and I think it looks really cool. Also, it's hard to explain, but yeah, I think it turned out pretty cool. And also, since I realized I could put some actual brown bricks connected there due to, that these actually have connections and stuff, so I did that too. And now I'm going to start working on the top of the island and then the ladders to get down. So I finished building the top here. I also went around, edited some of the foliage around, and also around the back and other side, changed some of it a bit. Then I started building the ladder, and as you can see, there's the ladder, except it doesn't quite reach, which you're probably like, well, just build it bigger. But the problem is, I have completely run out of the sand green 1x4 plate. So that's a bit of an issue, so I might try to build the ladder like I originally was going to, using the clips on the telescopes, like this, and then building something across there. I don't know, I'll just experiment and figure something out and rebuild the other ladder as well. I have a few options. I should have enough pieces to build a ladder like this, but I'd of course need at least 1 or 2 actual plates in it in order to keep it sturdy, but then it has different styling throughout, and I kind of don't like that. The other way is just not build them fully and just have broken ladders for at least these bottom 2. I think I'll leave the top one, and actually I just took apart the bottom one to test this out, but I'm going to put it back in its looking broken form, and then I'll kind of show you what I have completely. This is how I think I'm going to do the ladders. They look all broken. See, this one's completely fallen. There's a bit of debris at the top and the bottom. This one just has shattered top rungs, then I placed the debris at the bottom. The top one, however, I just left complete, so that way you could kind of get an idea of what an actual working ladder would look like, because I am going to, turn this into a battle scene, adding minifigs fighting, so I decided having the ladders broken would kind of fit. Maybe, like, the enemies are getting too close, they have to break the ladder or something, or just enemy fire and assault and artillery and such has broken it. I don't really know the story, but I think I might go with that. They've had to cut down that ladder, and now they're starting to break this ladder, like have some holding out up there or something. But, yeah, I decided since I can't fully build all the ladders, I'll just have them be broken. Forgot to mention, what I'm going to work on next is doing some ground foliage, and this may be like the last solo episode of the Air Castle, because basically the only thing left is the minifigs and the Titan, which I'll be doing in another episode, as well as some terrain around the edges to connect them. But once again, I'll be doing that kind of in a combined episode of all 4 of them being built together. So this might be the last one. I'm going to start working on ground foliage. I've been working on the foliage for a couple minutes here, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to make a time lapse. So here's the time lapse right now. Sorry to interrupt you from your time-lapse, but in the middle of it, I accidentally knocked this down from the castle up there. And then also I discovered some structural issues down here, which I'll have to resolve, and then I'll send you back into the time-lapse. So once I resolve all this, you won't actually see me resolving this and fixing the top where I broke it, but then I'll just pop you back into the time-lapse. You know what, I kind of screwed up timings and stuff a bit. As you can see, I didn't put you back into a time-lapse like I said I would. But basically, I just finished all the ground foliage. I forgot to put these ladders back, though. I'll do that later. Those are kind of annoying to balance. Yeah, I finished all the groundwork, so I'm basically done with the air castle. Obviously, you'll see it in future videos when I do all the combined elemental castle videos, and then also when, I do the showcase and everything. And in the showcase, I'm planning on having each have a little time where it's like the spotlight, and then have a little bit where, I go over all of them. But yeah, basically, I am done with the air castle for now. So, that's all, and peace.